Good morning. Good morning. You're watching Wohio. I am your fantastic, amazing, wonderful host, Jimmy Ohio. I'm not on the highway. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm not in a Buick. You should also know that. It is early in the morning. Well, looks like it's 8:21. That's early for me these days. Just dropped off the kids at school a few minutes ago. 8:15 to be exact. I'm wearing my Carhartt. Woke up this morning around 7 a.m. and I clicked the little weather app on my phone. It said 77 degrees, sunny. I was like, oh man, this is wonderful. Then I realized I had it on the wrong city. I didn't have it on Detroit, Ann Arbor. I had it on New Orleans, so that was a bummer. So I throw this on when it's cold, especially when I'm just driving the kids to school. Got my pajamas on. That's it. I had it on New Orleans because I'm gonna go there next week, visit a friend, soak up the sunshine. Never been there, so that's exciting. New Orleans. I did a commercial once for a Buick Rendezvous, and we used the song Superstition by Stevie Wonder. It was shot in New Orleans. I was not there. I didn't have a big role to play in that one, but I always think of that when I think of New Orleans. Superstition, the writings on the wall. God, I am tired. Nothing doing. When I work from home, I work at my own pace, which is waking up at 9:30 or so. Oh, the reason I decided to turn this thing on this morning is because I saw a vanity plate, and I struggled with my phone to try to get it. It was at a stoplight, and I completely missed the photo. I don't even remember what it said. Something. I guess a lot of people wake up this early. I used to. Probably gonna have an office job coming up here soon, so you'll see more of me. But right now, I'm driving to the car wash because this van is very dirty. We live on a dirt road, so the cars get dirty often. And my wife likes to take the dirt road to school where she works. So that's even more dirty. Our street's a dirt road to our house, but it's only a little bit. And then our gravel dirt driveway. So you can't really avoid the car getting dirty. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I think I've missed my turn. I missed my turn. Yep, I missed a turn. I was talking to my oldest daughter. I was like, when is that thing where people talk while they're driving gonna be over? When's that fad gonna be over? We both agreed it should be over soon. It's played out. It's over. It's over. So I gotta sneak these in before it actually, dies. It's a nail in the coffin. Oh, I'm looking for a show. A rock show in New Orleans. I'll be there. I can play Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. 3 nights. Flying back Saturday. I would have stayed longer, but I'm staying with a friend, and you know the old saying. Guest starts to smell bad after 3 days, like a fish, like a dead fish, I'm assuming, because live fish don't really smell that bad. We've had a couple little ones, the goldfish. They die. They drowned. Some of them commit suicide. They jump out of the bowl. Can't take it anymore. I'm just a fish in a bowl. Oh, I got some stuff to return to Marshall's. I gotta do that too. It's getting close to the 30-day mark where they won't let you return it after then. There we go. Looped around. Here's the right street. I got your picture on the wall for a good time call. Show your boots when you get there. You'll get beads. Oh, boobs. I think I'll show my beads. Hi, Kelly. Kelly and I like to drink at a bar in a bowling alley. Because I like drinking at bars and bowling alleys. And, oh, excuse me. Someone had written on one of those, what's that called? Keno, the little gambling TV Keno cards. It said, call me, phone number, little heart. And of course Kelly gets on her phone, texts the number. Hey, how you doing? They text back, who is this? And she sent a picture, I think it was of Pamela Anderson. Anyways, the conversation goes on for like 2 days maybe, and they start sending pictures of themselves, talking about their age. He's a single guy. His friend wrote that down. Friend writes that down a lot, and no one's ever called. So I hope that one works out. She does a lot of internet dating. Doesn't seem to pan out. But this one, local man. Although when he said, what do you look like? She sent a photo of her and her friend, which is something you never do, because there's confusion, and he wanted to meet her friend for a minute. Already the relationship has stumbled, but they worked that out. Friend's married, not the friend. He says, I should buy you a drink sometime, just to thank you for going along with this gag. So there's a little promise there, right? Good story. I had her send me the whole thread of text so I could write it on their, I don't know, the marriage certificate. Or if I got to speak, how you you thank the, I don't know, the groom or whoever you're there for. Then you give a long, blubbery talk about some stupid story that no one cares about except for you. It goes on too long and makes a joke about, I never thought this guy would get married. He's such a goofball. We're so happy for him. I was just gonna print out the text and just read that. Hey, who are you? Pamela Anderson photo. Oh, God. If you are awake, which I assume you are, unless you're watching this as a, rerun, then you should go back to bed. Because I'm going to go get the car washed. Then I'm going to go to the local party store that has Dexter Bakery Donuts. My favorite. You might know that if you've watched this program before. See, there's a car wash here, the Lighthouse Car Wash. Local car wash, better than the one I'm going to. What I'm going to is Zippy Car Wash, which is a chain. But you use your card, you swipe in, and then the gate opens up when you go in and get your car washed. And the local one, the guy comes out, asks you what kind. You gotta get some cash out. You can use a card, but he has to go inside and swipe it. You get the cash. You give the guy the cash. He counts out the cash, gives you back some cash. You get your car washed. It's a long process. And I get the car washed quite often. So, I go to this other place. Same price. Really, the problem is it leaves a little soap on the back of your car. But I'm gonna, for the convenience, I'm gonna go for that. I worked at a car wash when I was in high school, late high school. And it was one of those where you count the cash out and you drove the car for the person through the car wash, which seems fancy. But the trick was that the guys, the teenager guys, if you drove someone else's car through the car wash, you check their car for like drugs, for like, usually it was pot, and you'd steal it. You'd steal their pot under the thinking, the guys, the right word for that? We were a bunch of guys. Under the thinking that they wouldn't call the cops because it was illegal drugs. And so you'd get a dime bag or something. And you'd take some of the change. So it wasn't cool. And I did not partake in that activity. So really, they just put me on the bench. They wouldn't put me in the game, coach. I just had to sit there because everyone kind of took turns on this situation. Anyway, that job didn't last too long. I've had a lot of jobs that didn't last too long. Like the reason I have this Carhartt thing. Well, that lasted a few months. I worked at a horse stable. It's getting cold. I think my mother-in-law bought it for me. But it comes in handy. I got your number off the wall. I've heard that they had to cancel that number. Jenny's number? It's Jenny, right? Across the country because obviously people would call it. I remember doing a lot of prank phone calls back in the day before caller ID or any of that. Just goofball stuff. But I was really into it. I had this little suction cup thing you put on the big phone with the cord. And I'd hit the tape recorder and record the conversation. I listen to them. I come across those cassettes once in a while, and they're still pretty funny. There was one where it was during the O.J. Simpson trial. If you're too young to remember that, O.J. Simpson had killed somebody. I think it was his wife. And, people were really upset because, this guy's just sitting there. The gate's open. Drive. Good Lord. Alright, so O.J. Simpson didn't get in trouble for it because he had a fancy lawyer. And a lot of people were upset. So, I wouldn't even look to see whose phone number it was. I'd just dial a number. Someone would answer, and I'd say I was doing a survey and see, well, do you think O.J. was guilty? I'm calling from some poll. I'd make up some name. And, no hands on the track. I'm gonna speak a little louder. So, I'd call, act like I was doing a poll, and then whatever they said, and everybody said he was guilty, and they were pissed off about it. And I would just goat them into getting angry. One of the sticking points in the trial was that the gloves that the murderer wore were too small. So this wasn't a good idea for a broadcast. It's very loud. We're in the car wash. So the gloves were too small, and that was one of the reasons he got off. So most people will be like, yeah, he's guilty. I can't believe he got off. It's just because he's rich. I'll be like, but the gloves were too small. Or some stupid fact. Until I really riled them up. And it's really funny to listen to. The gloves are too small. But then that dingbat O.J. Simpson thought he was above the law and did something else stupid and ended up in jail. I think they gave him a long sentence just because everybody was pissed off that he got away with murder. Oh, and then he wrote a book, If I Did It, or something like that, with gruesome details of how he killed her. If he did it, this is how he would have done it. So the amount of arrogance on this guy. I don't know what the OJ stands for. Well, it goes by O.J. Simpson, and there was a commercial back in the day. He was a football player, pretty famous football player, as I recall. And it was for, like, Tropicana, or I don't know. His little catchphrase was, "Don't squeeze the juice," because of O.J. Don't squeeze the juice. We're in the wind tunnel. Looks like we're almost free. None of the car washes in my area have the guy that, or the lady. There was one that had a lady that dry off your car. So that kind of sucks. Sometimes you just hop on the freeway trying to dry it off. Eco-friendly. Alright. Dropped off kids. Car wash completed. Straight to the party store to get my donut. Maybe I'll get coffee there, but it's rancid. The coffee is rancid. There's a Starbucks, but I don't like Starbucks. Some people do, some people don't. It's not political. It's just a little too acidic for me. But their food's pretty good. If you're driving through there in the morning and they got a, I don't know, fancy McMuffin thing. That's good. I saw the maggot on the wall. I was thinking about what the good commercial jingles were. In the Detroit area, they have a handful. Of course, I like to save more money at Menards. Menards being like Home Depot / Super Kroger. There's a place where you donate your car. Cars for Kids. Car being spelled with a K. I don't even remember the numbers. Like 1877 Cars for Kids. KISD, Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. What was the other one? There was Mr. Allen, 2 for $50. You buy a pair of shoes and you get another one for $50. I directed a commercial for that. We didn't use the 2 for $50, but it was still pretty cool. 2 for $50. What is the other one? There was another one. I don't know. Oh, the one where the guy does carpets. Empire. It's like a little cartoon of this guy laying down some carpet, but he didn't really lay it down. He just folded it out. So I wonder if that was what they did to keep prices down. They didn't really nail it down. They just folded it, rolled it out, and they're done. I could go by the actual bakery. That just occurred to me. Not too far from the bakery. Maybe I'll do that. Takes a little longer. It's the Dexter Bakery is 100 years old. I think it's the same location too. It used to be a place where I grew up called Bill's Donuts, and it was kind of a smaller town, and there was only 2 places open all night. You had the Denny's and the Bill's Donuts. So depending on what we were gonna do. Oh, and you had the truck stop. You had the truck stop. A little further down the road off the highway, but you know, they had a TV room, showers, but they also had arcade games. My friend and I would go there and play those first-person car racer games where you sit down in a car thing and you play head-to-head. I think we spent like $30 each once. All night long. Donate your car today. I've donated maybe 3 cars in my life. I remember when we lived in Detroit, we had this car and it was, you know, it didn't run, it was old, it would have cost a lot of money. You donate the car, you get a tax rebate for quite a bit. And our neighbor, she was a jerk. She was like, "Why didn't you give me the car?" Blah, blah. Well, the reason we didn't give you the car, and this happens, and it happened to me, is they don't change the registration over, so they get all these tickets and you're on the hook. We are moving to New York and I had this Plymouth minivan. They don't make those anymore. And this thing was a tank. It would run for, you know, generations. Well, we were moving and I was purging. And all I was asking was like $600, something like that, just to get rid of it, you know. I had quite a few miles. And my neighbor, I mean, we had the full front yard with almost all of our worldly belongings, selling them, you know, big yard sale. and the minivan. It was part of the yard sale. A neighbor across the street, good guy, he's like, hey man, I want to buy the minivan. Great. It's $600 cash. Well, you know, he's like, I got 300 and then I can give you the next 300 on the flip side. And I loved the guy. He was a really great guy. I wanted to get out of town like nobody's business. I said, man, just give me the 300 and the van is yours. So he did. He went home, brought out like a wad of cash. He had 300 in cash at his house. Handed it to me. I signed the registration thing. He signed it. But the thing is, I should have gone to they call them the SOS around here, Secretary of State. Some places call them the DMV. The DMV, Detroit Driver Motor Vehicles, maybe. Anyways, SOS. And I should have followed him and had it signed over right then, but I trusted the guy. Took the van, never changed it over, used my plates. No, I took the plates off, so he must have just found some plates. And he was racking up traffic violations and stuff, and they were sending it to me. And it was awful. I sorted it out somehow. When I lived in Chicago, I had a Volvo minivan because I would drive home about 5 hours away from Chicago. But I didn't really use it in the city. And so I'd just be on the street. And I got parking tickets. I mean, I got quite a few parking tickets. And I didn't have the money. I was going to college. Art school. Kind of an expensive art school at that. Which doesn't make any sense. Art. You know, I just read the other day that art is not important. Coal miners can't pay for your art. No NEA. Single moms in Detroit can't pay for your art. Art including PBS. Pretty sure some single moms in Detroit want to see Big Bird once in a while. Mr. Rogers reruns. I wrote this down yesterday, but you know, Loretta Lynn was a coal miner's daughter. Andy Warholic changed his name. His dad was a coal miner. So there is a little connection between art and coal mining. The art of coal mining. Johnny Cash wrote a good song about coal mining. Dark in the Dungeon. It's a good one. Dangers aplenty, pleasures a few. Bum 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 bum. It's dark as a dungeon, way down in the mines. Oh yeah, I'd get a lot of parking tickets. Chicago. Didn't have the money for them. So what you can do is you can write in and contest. You can write in and contest the ticket. And you know, Chicago, they're not going to get around to it anytime soon. So I would write Dadaist poetry and send it in. I just remember one phrase from one. I think I have them all. I Xeroxed them. One was like it wrapped up by saying, "Let the milk flow," which had nothing to do with anything, but I was kind of thinking of Dune. Let the spice flow. Anyways, I sent in like a dozen of those. They never got back to me. And then years later, like a good decade later, they sent a big bill to my parents because they think I was still on my parents' you know, stuff. Here we are, downtown Dexter, Michigan. Farming community. It's about 2 blocks A lot of bric-a-brac going on. Well, that's all. Turn off this blinker. Nope. It's a windshield wiper. Alright. You guys have fun. Yep. Love you. Bye.